So I wanted to make this video to talk about what it was like being a bride and also how it was designing my very own wedding dress. Weddings are the most bizarre experience. Having almost everyone you know in one place with their attention on you is a really weird feeling that you've never had before and that you'll never have again. So first of all, I just want to say I was a bit overwhelmed at times. At my rehearsal dinner, I had to step out for a little bit because it was just so overwhelming having so many people you know and love come up to you and say, "Congratulations, you look so beautiful," and having to reply over and over and over again, "Thank you so much for coming," and like, you feel so much love, but it's almost like too much to handle. And so the night before my wedding, I was really nervous. I was thinking, oh gosh, I probably shouldn't have had a big wedding. Maybe it's not for everybody. Like, not everyone can handle this. And I was really nervous, and I kind of had this feeling like, uh-oh, what if weddings are just this big Instagram facade that it's the best day ever, but really it's not, and it's really overwhelming and stressful. But luckily the next day I didn't feel any of that. It truly was the best day ever. I was the happiest I've ever been in my entire life and had the best time. So I'm sure it's not that way for everyone, and I feel really lucky that that was my experience on my wedding day. One of the best things I can attribute to that is feeling comfortable. And when I was looking for wedding dresses, I knew that I wanted something that I felt really comfortable in and also that felt me. So I went shopping at 2 bridal stores in San Francisco and 4 in LA, and I found so many dresses that I really loved. But each one that I loved had something about it that I felt like I would want to change. And it was also just weird to look online and see other women wearing the dresses and models wearing the dress. I just felt like it didn't feel very special. So I decided to design my own custom wedding dress with Anomalie. And it was the coolest experience ever. So Anomalie is a San Francisco-based company that allows brides to design custom wedding dresses and be involved in every step of the process. You don't have to live near San Francisco to work with them, but it was really cool to be able to go into their office and have a little bit more of an in-person experience.
So excited! We're about to pick up my wedding dress. Oh my gosh, it's so great in person. Oh my gosh.
I was a little bit different than most Anomalie brides because I knew I wanted something custom, but I had no clue what I wanted. So I chatted a lot with my stylist at Anomalie, Jacqueline, and we went through dresses that I had tried on and talked about what I liked about certain ones and what I didn't love so much. So I really loved this one dress from Rue de Seine, especially the beaded belt part, but I didn't want the spaghetti strap sleeves, and I wanted the pattern to be on top of the dress with a more simple bottom. And I knew I didn't want lace because Jesse once mentioned that he didn't like lace because it reminds him of his mom's doilies on her table, and I didn't want to remind him of that on our wedding day, so I was like, I can't have anything lace, but I didn't want it to be totally plain. So the question was, what will the pattern be? And Jacqueline, my Anomalie stylist, suggested that we do embroidery, which would be a really cool textured pattern, kind of like what you see on a lot of clothing in Mexico, except all white on white. And I really liked that idea, but I needed to figure out what the pattern would be. I literally was like searching high and low for patterns. I was looking at what everyone around me was wearing. I actually was traveling in the Galapagos and was taking photos of leaves on different trees that I liked the pattern of that we could mock. And it was really cool because I knew my options were endless. Like, whatever I found, we could make into the pattern on my wedding dress. We ended up getting really inspired by this other dress that had this pattern where the flowers kind of looked like seashells, and since we live at the beach, I thought that was really cool. So then Anomalie's in-house designer made a custom sketch of the wedding dress that we had just come up with. And then I got to go into their office and pick fabric samples and get my measurements taken. And I have some of the fabric samples here. So these were like what I had to choose between for the skirt of the dress, silk georgette or silk chiffon. And as someone who doesn't know anything about fashion or materials, it was so hard because I was like, first of all, these are the exact same, but they're so different at the same time. And I chose silk chiffon because it's a little more sheer, and I knew that since my wedding was in the redwood trees, there would be light kind of shining through, and I thought it would look really pretty if there were layers of this lightweight sheer silk chiffon. So then once I made those decisions, it was off to production, but my involvement in the process did not stop there. My production designer, Aja, would send me all these updates from the factory in China, and then I would have to make approvals or make decisions or give lots of feedback and notes. And I would text a bunch of different friends during that process saying like, what do you think of the cut of the neckline or the color of this or the pattern? And that was really fun. At one point they sent a sample of the embroidery and it hadn't been filled in yet. And I texted it to some of my friends and we all agreed that it was kind of cool just leaving it as an outline of the shapes instead of filling it in, because we thought it would make it a little more subtle and it was really unique and we had never seen that before. So I was like, actually, let's just keep it how it is and not fill it in. So I also decided to have them embroider something in Jesse's handwriting on the side of my dress. When Jesse and I were in high school and we first started dating, when we were too shy to say I love you yet, we would say, I like you a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. And that ended up kind of sticking. Eventually we would say, I love you a lot, a lot, a lot. So I found an old letter where Jesse had signed it and got that exact handwriting embroidered in a gold thread on the side of the dress. And Jesse was horrible at spelling in high school, so he spelled it a lot, a lot, a lot, as like a lot being one word when really it's a lot. But I decided to keep it with the typo for nostalgia's sake because that's how he spelled it. So that was one of the most exciting things for me. I was so excited to show Jesse that custom embroidery on the side of my dress on the day of our wedding, and I could barely keep it in, but I didn't tell him, and it was such a good surprise and he thought it was so cool. All in all, the experience designing my own dress with Anomalie was so amazing. I think trying on dresses in a store and having them clip them behind you and a salesy lady that's trying to make you buy it that day is just gonna be a thing of the past. And making your own dress with Anomalie is so awesome. I mean, brides already have so much stress and pressure on them that this part should be fun, and having to go out to stores and find the perfect dress at this point just seems crazy to me. So make your own with Anomalie and I guarantee it'll feel so special. So I rarely make YouTube videos, but I'm gonna put more of an effort in to create more and put more out there. So subscribe to my channel if you're into that.